Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today is going to be the final focus video for the Heart Revolution and Disney palettes. Today we have Cinderella. So I'm going to be doing a 2 looks 1 palette with this palette. So first off, here's an overview of what the packaging looks like. If you missed my first impressions video, I will be sure to link the playlist for these palettes down below if you want to go check those out once you are done with this video, and then we can hop right into this video. So here is what the inside of this palette looks like, and just like last video, I'm going to be doing some swatches, so we will get right into that. So starting right up here, we have Daydream. And I found that these mats do need to be built up a little bit, but they end up looking pretty nice, swatched out. So next we have Ball Gown. Then we have Gus. Next we have Bruno. Then we have Pumpkin. Next we have Lucifer. And then we have Fairy Godmother. And then we have Tremaine. Next we have Anastasia. And then we have Drizella. That is a really pretty shade. Next we have Glass Slipper. And then we have Midnight. Next we have Jacques. And then we have Miracles. And then we have Royal. And then Prince Charming. Cinders. And finally, Nightingale. So here are all of the shades swatched out. There are so many super pretty blue shades I'm so excited to play around with. So now we are going to be swatching the face shades, and I'm going to go ahead and do those on the back of my hand. So this is A Dream is a Wish. That's pretty light. Next we have Waltz. And then Happily Ever After. And then the first highlighter is Bippity. And this is a super pretty bluish silver highlight. I was not expecting that when I saw the pictures of this palette, but in person it is so pretty. So the next one is Boppity. And then we have Boo. So there are all those shades swatched out. So I'm super excited to start playing around with this palette. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so the first shade we are going to be taking for this look is Anastasia right here. And I'm going to start by just working this right into my crease, just how I start pretty much all my looks. So we're just going to work this right through the crease, not being super precise about this or anything, but just working on laying the color down. And this color laid down pretty easily. It was fairly pigmented to start out with, so that is really nice. Next, I'm going to be taking Jacques right here. And I'm going to just use this to blend out the crease a little bit, just so there are no harsh lines. And as you can see for this look, I wanted to play around with some of the pinkier shades in this palette because this is a very blue-toned palette, but it does also have some fun pops of pink that I wanted to incorporate in today's look. So speaking of that, we are going to be taking Tremaine right here. And I want to start with this just on a dry brush. I'm going to just pack this onto my lid. This shade seems to be packing pretty nicely. I'm pretty impressed with this. I feel like these shimmers tend to be hit or miss in these palettes. But this one looks super nice. So I'm going to be taking a little bit more of Anastasia and working this back into the crease because I feel like once we put that shade on the lid, some of the color closest to the lid just went away. So I'm just going to work on building this shade back up again. And then following the same steps that we did earlier, just taking Jacques and blending out. So the next shade I'm going to take is Midnight. And this is the pretty matte blue shade in this palette. And we're going to start running this along my upper lash line as liner. So once we have that all stamped up along the lash line, we're going to start winging it out. And this part is a little trickier for me. So I'm trying to just be very precise with the placement. And then drag it to connect with the lash line. And I'm also going to take this shade and connect it to the lower lash line. So we have a little bit more of a dramatic liner look. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that first pink shade and just run this underneath Midnight, just to add in a little bit of pink to the lower lash line, but I don't really want to blend the liner out at all. The last shade we're going to take is Glass Slipper. And this is going to go right in my inner corner to brighten. And I'm keeping it fairly concentrated, only blending out slightly in the inner corner. And that will complete this look. I'm going to go add some mascara and I will be right back. So here is the final look. I am really happy with how this one turned out. I think the shades performed really nicely. The only little issue I had was in the crease after I put the lid shade down, but that just built right back up after that pigmentation went away. So overall, I'm very happy with how the shades performed and how this look turned out. And I am super excited to get into the second look. So let's get started with that. Alright, to start out the second look, we're going to be taking Lucifer. And this is going to start going right in the outer corner. And I am trying to do this look on my right eye, which I am definitely not used to, so please bear with me. So I'm just starting by packing this in the outer corner. And then we will start slowly blending it into the crease. And this shade is a little bit of a shimmer. I guess it would probably be considered a satin shade. But I still wanted to use it today because I think it's a nice dark deepening shade. And I want this look to be a little bit more dramatic. So next up, we're going to be taking this shade right here, which is Daydream. And we're going to start using this to blend out the crease slightly. And we'll see how Lucifer blends out. Honestly, so far so good. I'm pretty impressed. I don't typically expect matte black shades or black shades in general to blend out super easily. But this one does look like it's doing a pretty nice job. Some of the pigmentation is going away, which is to be expected. So I'm just gonna work it back into the crease a little bit more. Just ever so slightly to make sure we still have that darker shade. So next we are going to be taking my e.l.f. Camo Concealer. And we're going to be doing a little bit of a half cut crease. So just start by putting this shade down, and then right when you get to where the black starts is where this crease is going to stop. Once you have that about where you want it, We're going to take a little bit more of Lucifer and just tap over the edges here to blend it in slightly. And I'm going at a little bit of an angle, like this, just to blend it in. And then the next shade we're going to take is Drizella. And this is just on a little e.l.f. concealer brush. I'm going to start packing this where the concealer is on the lid. And once again, I'm using a dry brush with this, but since the concealer is tacky, it will help to lay this color down a little better. This still isn't the most pigmented shade though, so I am going to take a little bit on my finger because it looks really pretty on the finger. And I'm just going to work this onto the lid as well to help build it up. We're once again going to take a little bit more of Lucifer and just tap over the edges, as well as go over the crease a little bit more just to make sure everything is nice and sharp. And then we are going to start bringing Lucifer on the outer portion of the lower lash line. So just work on really building the shade up out here. And then when you have less product on the brush, bring it closer to the inner part of the lower lash line. And then we're going to go back in with Daydream and just use this to blend out the entire lower lash line. And then we're just going to take a clean brush and just run that along the lower lash line as well, just to help make sure everything is blended out. For the inner corner, we're going to be taking Prince Charming. And this is a nice matte white shade. We're just going to build this up a little bit in the inner corner to brighten. And that will complete this look. I'm going to go add mascara and I will be right back. Alright, so here is the final look. I am really happy with how both of these looks turned out. I think they are both pretty kind of dramatic looks, but they're both super pretty and the shades performed quite well, which I was very happy about. Let me know down below which look you like better. I think I'll still have to go with the first look as being my favorite out of this video, but I do really enjoy what this one turned out looking like as well. If you have not seen my other videos with this collection, I will be sure to link the playlist down below. And let me know what else you would like to see from me. I'm going to start doing some more Christmassy looks and more wintry holiday looks. So if that interests you, then be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and with that, I will see you all in my next video. Bye!